What's going on, everybody? It's our final third and quite frankly, most scary segment yet. We are doing I felt it was only fair. Mike was gracious enough to turn the tables and let me do this to him on his channel. So I felt it only fair to give him the opportunity to do it. The only concern that I have is he's much better at thinking of questions and getting better questions at me than I am at him. So I've got my seatbelt on, Mike. I'm comfortable. We're going to let you ask the lumberjack as many questions. And I hate saying that because it's so third person and dumb. But, but it is what it is. That's what they know me as. So yep. I wanted to give you the opportunity to just let her rip, and I will answer them all as honestly as I can, because that's how we did it, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. So first and foremost, we're going to start with why you are tackling a constituent, under 24 that probably has no time for you, doesn't care. You're the old fart.
I am.
Yeah. And I got to figure out your why, because you have decided to tackle probably the most important group to go after, where you can really change people's lives, but also they don't want to listen, right? You remember being that age, and
yeah,
you hear people, a decade or two older than you, like, you're the old fart, and you just, you're gracious, and then you move on. So why have you signed up for this fight?
So great question. They are the most important and they care the least. And I think it's,
tell me more. Most important, care the least. I like the succinct answer, but I need more.
I think that they've been sold a lie. I think that they've watched and seen too much television. I think they've heard too many parents complaining. I think they've heard too many friends complaining. I think that they've looked at the job market for what's available to them at 18 or 19 years old. And they say, how am I ever going to get ahead? How am I ever going to even just pay my way? And it's because most of them have garbage money habits. Yeah, I said it. And sorry if it's offensive, too bad. Talk to the beard. It's just the way it is. And it's sad because these guys are in an unbelievable level of control. When I was 18 years old, the best job I could get was $5.25 an hour. $5.25 an hour was the best job that I can get, being a high school dropout. It's the best I could do. And how many of those kids now could right now walk into a place, honest to God, if I see one more, I would go to jail if I took every single help wanted sign out of every business that had it up on the stores that I go to. There is, without exception, Home Depot, Lowe's, the lumberyard, you name it, they are all hiring. All the restaurants that we go to, anywhere we go, they are all hiring. So if you don't have a job right now, or a good paying job, you're either A, unmotivated, or you B, aren't going after that job that pays you more, that you can, I promise you can get, and just learn on the job, be willing to show up and willing to learn. And I guarantee that will serve you all the rest of your life.
So yeah, so what I hear you saying frightens me, because generations are important. And I'm just going to call this generation Gen Z.
Yep.
I think that's where it falls. And what I hear you saying is, for the first time, there's a generation, Gen Z, that may not believe in the American dream. That's what I think you're telling me.
I think that they've been sold that. I think that they've been sold. Wow. And quite frankly, I think it's a total load of crap. I just think it's garbage. The American dream is still out there. It wasn't that long ago that I did it. And it wasn't that long ago that I'm still doing it every single day. There just isn't. There just really, truly isn't. And I think that there's a lot of people that don't go to college that think that that's made their life decision for them. That is garbage. That is absolute garbage. It's absolutely what you make of it. I've run, just like you, Mike, I've run a number of elite sales organizations, and it blows my mind. I have never had a top 5 guy from an Ivy League school. Not once, ever.
Oh,
ever. And sorry if that hurts
hurts
somebody in the Ivy League, but that's just the truth, way it goes.
I have never had it. I've managed thousands. I've had tens of thousands in my org charts over the years. I've never had a top 5 rep from an Ivy League.
Ever. And what does that tell you? It tells you that often they're very smart. Often they try and leverage relationships from that relationship to turn that into something, but largely that doesn't mean much in your 20s and your 30s. And certainly you can be the Zuckerbergs, and you can be the Gates, and you can be the Steve Jobs. I've got news for you. If you're watching this channel, you're probably not that person. But I'm just going out on a limb, and I think the crazy thing about it is that my top reps consistently were often the ones, as I got to know them, they were often the ones that had the most stacked against them in life. They grew up Section 8, they grew up broke, they grew up in a broken home. Fill in the boxes. It's happened to a lot of us. And the issue is that we didn't make an excuse for it. We said, you know what? This is not going to dictate what the rest of my life is going to be. Sorry, I got really amped up right there. It's not going to dictate the rest of what my life is going to be. I'm going to make a decision right now that I want to win, and I'm going to follow guys that will help me win, because they're going to give me the information that they learn. And you know what? It's nice. It's a nice idea to get a mentor. Awesome idea. Great to do it. I couldn't find one. So I had to do all the research on my own, pay for phone calls, the whole 9 yards. It was super painful, and it cost me a lot of money, and I made a lot of mistakes, but I still got here because I would not say no, and I kept on pushing forward. And there were plenty of times. There were 3 times in the first 5 years that I was almost bankrupt. I was going to have to file for bankruptcy 3 times in the first 5 years.
Yeah. So something else, again, speaking to Gen Z in this conversation, what I'm hearing you say, and I agree with, is first and foremost, the successful reps year in and year out were the hungriest.
Absolutely.
Right. They had it stacked against them. They didn't care. And what I would tell a Gen Z to hear in that statement is it's okay to be hungry. Yeah. Right. I think there's a lot of be content, don't strive, a lot of that kind of mentality right now. No, it is okay to be hungry. And no, you don't need to go to an Ivy League. You don't have to go to college. Nope. Frankly, if you're 18 years old and watching this channel, have interest in real estate, I'm here to tell you, if you're not financially free by 25, you did something wrong.
You can be. You can absolutely be financially free. And quite frankly, if you're content and all you're focused on is contentment for now in this stage of life, your 40-year-old self will kick your 20-year-old self's ass. I promise you that. Don't waste the time that you have. Mike and I know. Don't waste the time that you have. He's admitted he wasted a lot of his 30s. I admitted I worked garbage jobs for the last few years of my teens, even though I was a dropout, until I said, I've got to put myself in a position where I can really start to get in the company and just outwork everybody else. That's all I had to do. And apathy absolutely is the opposite of what we look for. And contentment, you can be happy with your life, but recognize that when you accomplish that goal, you will feel like literally like a rocket ship to the moon. It is unbelievable because you weren't expected to accomplish it. And I think that Gen Zers honestly have been mislabeled as whiners. I think that they've absolutely I think that they just haven't been given any good path. I think that no one's taken the time to really teach them and show them what life really can be about. Wow. And that they can absolutely attain this stuff, but you've got to put in the work. There's no substitution for that.
Yeah. And what I would tell a Gen Z kind of having this conversation again, you're actually pretty lucky if you take advantage of it. Think about the information they have at their fingertips.
Holy
now, there's a ton of it, so you got to filter it. But damn, was any of this stuff available for us?
No. What are you kidding me? I had to beg brokers to have a call with me because they were too busy and I was too young and I didn't have enough money. Yeah. Guys, there are so much available on YouTube, on Instagram. There is so much available out there, but look at some trusted sources, look at third-party verifiable sources. It wasn't a mistake that I had reached out to Mike months ago. I verified him as a resource. He's good. He's got quality content. We put our experiences out there and share numbers. We're not hiding behind some, hey, dropship here. I top lined $1 million and oh my word, I actually lost $100,000 on how I did that. After it was paid for shipping. So that's why I wanted to take on this challenge, is because my wife also has a lot of younger brothers that I spent time with, and they really have not largely made the right decision to really create wealth for themselves. And I feel bummed because I'd be more than happy to help them. My sisters, a couple of my sisters, man, they are on it. They are in it. In fact, one of them's buying a house right now. And she's like, I just don't want to call you too often. I said, whatever. I'm here to help. Let's go through it. But
I'm
all
your brother,
the stuff,
goddammit.
Yeah, but all the stuff I have, it's on the site too. We share all that stuff because we want to give you the leg up. And there's not some $5,000 fee you got to pay either. Like, we've kept everything super reasonable and quite frankly, very attainable for what it's going to save.
Yeah. The biggest thing I would tell a Gen Zer you should do right now, if you're hearing this and the message resonates, you have huge opportunity, be hungry. It's okay to want more. But I got to tell you, you have a homework assignment. You need to sit down and write down your 5 closest friends. Who are the 5 people you spend time with? Then what you need to do is you need to go, what do they do all day long? If the answer is they smoke weed, play video games, and go to the bars, I got bad news for you. I can tell you what your future is going to be. So some of you are going to hear this and do the work and realize that your friends aren't getting you anywhere. That should be your step one. If you really want to be financially free by 25, some of you are going to have to change your friends. You're going to have to get uncomfortable, go meet new people. But damn it, if you want it, if you're hungry and you want it, it's yours. It's right there.
It's right there.
I can't make you pick it up. It's right there. It's right next to you. But you've got to pick it up.
Honestly, Mike, truer words have never been spoken. It's right there for you guys. All the knowledge is here. You have to want to seek it out. I mean, we will spend money to put this thing out. And I promise you, there's not a thing on this planet that Mike and I couldn't make more money doing over the last hour than what we just did. I promise you that. And we're doing this because we want to see people take action. We want to not see people believe in the lie that this needs to become a renter nation, because I think that's garbage. And then what's going to happen when you're 45 years old and you realize that was a lie and you go out and you buy a house at 45 years old? That 30-year mortgage, you're either going to pay it off when you're 75 or die before you've paid it off. And now it's a liability. Don't put yourself in that position. Invest in yourself. And that comes with attaining knowledge and doing the work. And if you do that, there's no doubt in my mind, you don't have to outrun the bear. You only have to outrun the others running from the bear. And the fact of the matter is, of today's society, outrunning the others, they've made it very easy for you to do that. They really have.
Yeah, their shoes are tied together, man. They're not even trying. They're not even
Most of them haven't woken up.
Oh,
a lot of them are still asleep. So
yeah.
We just think that there's awesome opportunity out there for you. Don't be discouraged. Do the work. Start somewhere. Start somewhere. And if you do that work, you follow the stuff that we post nonstop, I promise it'll be the best few hours a week that you spend, and you'll be investing in yourself and turning things around. So I just took up like the entire session with that answer to one question. But if you couldn't tell, great question, Mike. And I wasn't doing that just so I could avoid your other questions either.
No, I think you nailed it. I mean, that was a big, the reason I asked that question is there are easier groups to help, but I think the one you were after is so critical and so ignored. So thank you for taking on that challenge. That's awesome.
Well, I want to personally thank the Norwegians that are watching us or will watch this later on today. We have Norwegians that are watching The Lumberjack Landlord. And what the hell, America? I mean, honest to God, like they're interested in what's going on in our market and they're in their mid-20s. Like, at least that's what Google tells me. But I'm just saying, guys, pick the channel, watch this stuff. Watch Mike's stuff, even if you just start to get the vernacular for it and picking up the words that we're using and understanding what they mean. Take that time, invest that time into an investment in yourself. And I guarantee you won't be sorry you did this in 5 years or 10 years. You won't be sorry. So Mike, where can folks find you, my man?
Do me a favor, type in one rental at a time. You should see a YouTube channel, Instagram, a book on Audible, Amazon. I'm not hard to find.
That's true. And guys, like I said, quality content, and he's Lumberjack approved, Lumberjack verified. I've bought the stuff. Like it's all good. It's all quality. I enjoyed it. It was, and you know what? The funny thing is, even as many years as I've done that, you learn a couple new things, no matter whose stuff you go through. It's just so worth its while. So everyone, thanks so much for watching the Lumberjack Landlord fantastic Friday event with Mike Zuber from One Rental at a Time. Mike, thanks so much. We'll talk to you again next week.
You got it. Bye.
All right. Take care.